Hey, it's Monday night, and I'm Scoot, and welcome to the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. I want to thank those of you who just joined me from Scoot on the Air Instagram, and there's also Scoot on the Air Facebook. In fact, if you haven't become a subscriber yet, I hope you will subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do have big plans for the YouTube channel, which really gives me a chance to expand on what I talk about on my radio show on WWL, AM, FM, and radio.com. So I got more lights in today, as you can see. This is one of the lights we have. Nice softbox light. So I've got more lights that just arrived today. I'm going to get a microphone and a desk, and then we're going to have like a little backdrop. So I'll figure that. But anyway, we're trying to build this. And if this becomes something big, you can tell all your friends that you were part of it in the beginning, that you helped start the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. And I thank you. So subscribe. You'll get a little alert every time we do something. Shatney says, "Hi Scoot, can't wait to get my mug." Yeah, the Scoot on the Air mugs are now available on my website, which is Scoot on the Air. There's also something new about the news there every day. And so, if before you listen to talk radio, before you listen to the cable news channels, check on the Scoot on the Air website for its kind of a political thought of the day. But it kind of gives you something to go on. It kind of helps you filter out the bullshit. So check that out. And also, I want to announce tonight, and I just did this on Instagram, but I want to announce tonight on YouTube that, and I'm being honest with you about this, the coffee mugs sell for $15. That pays for the coffee mug. Now, look, I couldn't order it in massive numbers, and maybe I can reduce the price a little bit. But anyway, between the price of the coffee mug and shipping, there's $4 profit. Now, I'm not going to get rich off the $4 profit. And so what I want to do is also, it's the right thing to do. I want to donate $4 profit, 100% of the profits. I want to donate it to a charity. Now, I haven't figured out the charity yet, but it will be related to the pandemic or race relations or something. So if you buy a mug, it has a really nice exclusively designed SOTA, Scoot on the Air logo on it. And it's a nice coffee mug. I personally selected this. It's my personal taste I drink tea, but it's my personal taste in a coffee mug. I like a thin lip mug, and it's nice big handle. So it's my personal choice. So I hope you will buy one. And again, 100% of the profits are going to a charity. And I'll be announcing that charity sometime this week. And I hope to get some. I hope I get some in from where they're being shipped. I hope I get a couple in so I can hold it up and show you here on YouTube. And I'll do that Wednesday night. Also, remember to join me on Facebook, Scoot on the Air, and Instagram, Scoot on the Air, and then here on YouTube. I'm having a problem with Facebook again. And that's going to lead me into this rant about the First Amendment. It's going to be a calm rant. But today was a manic Monday. There was just so much going on. So I can't get to my Facebook page, Scoot on the Air, from my computer. Because apparently, I'm getting more information on this, but apparently somebody reported me. Not that I did anything obscene, but they didn't like something that I said politically. And I think Facebook needs to do a better job of weeding these things out and not just accepting a complaint or a bitch from somebody and then shut somebody down. I can still get to Facebook on my phone, and I'll continue to do that, but it's a lot more difficult to communicate with all of you. I don't get messages Facebook messages on my phone. So if you sent me a message and I haven't gotten back to you, I apologize, but that's the reason. But apparently somebody reported me, and it's bullshit because it's just because they don't agree with what I'm saying. Elizabeth says, dump Facebook and stay here on Instagram. I am doing that. I've really built a nice audience on Facebook, but I want to transition it to Instagram and the YouTube channel. So if you've been with me on Facebook, get with me here. Get with me on Instagram. But here's what I think has happened. And I'm getting more information on this from Facebook. I think somebody complained about my opinion. And it brings me to something very important that's happening in the world. There are too many people on the conservative right who do not respect the First Amendment. Let me repeat that. There are too many people on the conservative right who do not respect the First Amendment. They don't respect opinions different from theirs. They think they own talk radio. Now, the left has its problems too. But I get attacked from people on the far right because they don't think I should have my opinion. And I'll tell you why they don't want me to have an opinion. Because I'm good at communicating thoughts. And I make some people uncomfortable. I expose hypocrisy every day on my radio show. I expose the hypocrisy. And some people don't like that. They want to shut that down because they think it's dangerous. Well, it's dangerous because it's the honest truth. And they want to be able to take their issues, their topics, their fear tactics, and then they want to use it on you. This idea that the police are going to somehow be defunded and go away, that's not going to happen. And yet there are people in the media who are using this. They're trying to scare you. Man, don't be scared by these fear tactics. And this is coming from the right. Well, the left has its own fear tactics. I can just speak from my personal point of view. And since I am a registered independent, I'm a radical moderate, I don't pander to either Republicans or Democrats. I try to be honest about both sides. I get attacked mostly from the right because the right thinks they own talk radio. Oh, and it's amazing how many people on the right are snowflakes. Oh, well, I don't like your opinion. You shouldn't be able to say that. There is nothing there when it comes to the First Amendment. There is nothing different from what I do than Rush does, Hannity, and Fox News in general. We do exactly the same thing as far as the First Amendment goes. The only difference is our opinions. But the First Amendment doesn't protect some opinions over other opinions. It protects all opinions. I know that's an uncomfortable thought for a lot of people because they can't support free speech if they don't agree with it. That's not American. That's not being a good patriotic American. You're not patriotic if you don't respect the First Amendment. It's the First Amendment for a reason. Because it's the most important amendment. Now, I know you can argue the Second Amendment's the most important, but without the First Amendment, we don't have a country. All the amendments are important, but there's a reason why freedom of speech is the first freaking amendment. Anne says, be a critical thinker, everyone. Yes, and right. Be a critical thinker. And I notice that people pick up on conservative media comments. And I talk about this a lot. They just regurgitate them. They call into radio talk shows. They text radio talk shows. They do it on Facebook. They just repeat what they hear. They're not thinking themselves. They just repeat what they hear. And I'll go back to a great example on my show not long ago. A guy called and he started in with that conservative mantra of, if you tell me I have to wear a mask, you're chipping away at my rights. And the guy goes on to say, we're having our rights taken away from us. And I said, what other right have you had taken away from you? Couldn't name one. So again, this is an example of what I talk about. They pick up these phrases and words and thoughts and concepts, and they don't think, they just repeat it. And they're so high and mighty because they think that because they got it from whoever they got it from, and they have so much respect for this person, that they think that they're invincible for having that opinion, if it's somebody else's opinion too. And this goes from the president on down. Again, the left has its own problems, but the left doesn't target me like the right does. And it's BS. I have First Amendment rights. I make some people a little uncomfortable because I talk about hypocrisy. Because I talk about things like, if you support the Constitution, you can't possibly ask the government to be involved in gay rights or in gay marriage. If you are a true conservative, you can't possibly object to same-sex marriage because conservative ideology is fundamentally based on the right of the individual and less government. And to ask the government to be involved in something so private as same-sex marriage, you defy conservative ideology. You are not a true conservative if that's the way you think. Now, true conservatives don't want to be told that. They don't want to be reminded of that. So they want to shut it down. And it could be that there are a few people that have a very tiny voice that want to stifle my voice because they're jealous of me because they want to have the power that I have. And they don't have it. So the next best thing is to try to shut you down on Facebook. Well, it's not going to work because I am going to shift stuff to Instagram. And that's not going to stop. It's Scoot on the Air Instagram, join me. Scoot on the Air YouTube. Scoot on the Air website. The First Amendment will prevail. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let a political ideology stifle my First Amendment rights. And I want you to think about how often this happens. I'm just one example. I'm one example of how this is happening. Shatney says, truth is truth. Lie is a lie, period. Yeah. I even talked today on my radio show on WWL about the Washington Redskins changing their name. We don't know what the name's going to be. And I said, if it's going to be something, football teams, basketball teams, sports teams, they pick a name that reflects the area that they're in. So Washington, D.C. What about the Washington Liars? I think Liars would be a great nickname for the team. And when I mentioned that, somebody texted in, yeah, and they could have a picture of Adam Schiff on the side of the helmet, which I thought was funny. I mean, I have a sense of humor. And I have fun praising both sides. I have fun condemning both sides. But right now, I'm really a little pissed. Not everybody on the right, not all conservatives, not all Republicans are like this, but I'm pissed at those on the right who think that they have a right to shut you down, or they have a right to try to stop your freedom of speech because they disagree with it. That shows a total lack of understanding for the First Amendment. How could you possibly be a conservative and not respect the First Amendment? I don't get it. I'll leave it here. I've said enough. I'll be back Wednesday night with another episode of The Truth Behind the Microphone, where I reveal some of the stuff from my life, my world. I reveal some truth behind the microphone. And I try to give you a better understanding of media and radio. That's going to be Wednesday night. And then I'm posting on Saturday night, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday nights. And The Truth Behind the Microphone, Wednesday night and Saturday night, and then Monday, it's Manic Monday. So look, have a good evening. I love you guys. Please become a subscriber. If you buy the coffee mug, I don't know what charity it's going to yet. I'll have that within the next day or so. But if you buy a coffee mug from my website, Scoot on the Air, 100% of the profits are going to a charity. So you get this momentum. I personally selected these coffee mugs, um, personally worked with the designer on the logo, and I'm very proud of the logo. So yeah, we got to get some more merchandise because the logo is pretty cool. So anyway, get the coffee mug, and we'll know soon where the profits are going. Also, join me on Facebook, and let's start pushing everything to Instagram and YouTube. Scoot on the Air, SOTA. Thank you for joining me. I love you guys. And join me on my radio show, WWL 870 AM, 105.3 FM in New Orleans and the Gulf South. And wherever you are, you can stream the show on radio.com. Download the app, radio.com, type in WWL, and I'm on 1 to 4 Central Time in the afternoon. Have a good night. Love you guys.